everybody, want to wheeze him here. It is time for introduction number 51. Intro 50, of course, was Blackout. I actually let him sit here for about a minute or so, standing off with Quigley, and Quigley has stopped dead in his tracks. It's about time. I would assume that means Blackout is pretty intimidating looking for Mr. Quigley, but that said, maybe he'll move when we switch over. We're going to pull Dark Element Newlander Quigley, and not Quigley, Blackout, and we're going to introduce Light Element Newlander Core Skylander, brand new Lightlander number 2. Whatever you need to call her, it is going to be Spotlight, Flashwing 3.0, Angelic Flashwing. I don't know what you go with, but we're going to put her on the portal.
Time to shine!
Kind of sounds like Flashwing, too. We've got 2 Light Skylanders collected, and by the way, there are only 2, so kudos to us. We 100% that. She's also keeping Quigley at bay. As soon as we turn our back, I feel like he's going to move. Okay, let's see here. Here's what she looks like in the game. Very nice eyes. Her and Blackout actually have very similar eyes, if you pay attention to that. The jump, nothing too crazy. She kind of like head dives on the way down, so that's somewhat unique. Kicks the tail up as well. Let's see here. Primary attack, kind of like focused laser eyes, kind of like Flashwing. That's cool. She's doing 60 damage there. Critical on that should be 90, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. How do we navigate this thing? I'm trying to get over. Alright, I think I'm going to get this set up for it. Okay, secondary attack. Well, that's interesting. Can we jump through it? What are we supposed to do with this thing? You can push it around, whatever it is, like a golden ring of justice. You can shoot through it. So that seems to... Let's see how... I'm trying to hit the ring. Okay, let's try this again. There's another ring. Magnifying glass. Ooh, that looks cool. So it works in conjunction with that. We've got 3 active now. I wonder if it's like a prison break deal where we chain off. So you can have 3 of these active, whatever they are. And again, she's not in charge again. So eventually you could probably set this up and do some cool stuff. Does she have a jump attack? Yeah, so she just kind of, you know, primary all of that. Secondary attack. Oh, so she can actually toss the ring from the air too. That's kind of cool. But anyway, that's what her attacks are. That's the attack damage number. It seems to not really increase the damage, but we'll figure out what it does here shortly. That said, let's come in here.
My future is looking bright.
Didn't sound as much of a Flashwing tone to her voice there. On the introduction, I thought she did. We're going to take a look at her stats. I'm going to log that into my spreadsheet, and then we will see cumulative score for Spotlight versus Blackout. Her max health is 270. That is plus 10 over Blackout. Her armor is 36. That is plus 12 over Blackout. Her speed is 60. That's negative 10. No, I'm sorry. That's actually equal to Blackout. Critical hit 20. That's odd. I thought she'd have had higher critical hit. That's sub 20 below Blackout. Elemental power would be 25 with Nightlight. She's plus 7 to 32. So add all that up, and we have 270, 330, 350, 386, 396, 406, 411. So, Miss Spotlight comes in at 411, cumulative stats combined, whereas Blackout weighed in at 409. So, once again, the Light Element reigns supreme right off the bat, plus 2 though this time. Not quite the same margin we saw between the Trap Masters. That's kind of a cool deal to make note of. I'll leave you on this screen. We're going to take a look at her background story. Spotlight was discovered by Master Eon in the Prismatic Palace. Eon goes to some cool places, does he not? Where the Portal Master had ventured seeking the Crystal Orb of Light. Upon finding the orb, Eon reached out and gently touched it, causing a brilliant light to emanate in all directions. Having been infused with Eon's magic, the orb glowed magnificently, and when Eon slowly lowered his hand from his shielded eyes, Spotlight stood before him in a respectful bow. Her power of light was unknown to him, for it was not of the 8 common elements in Skylands. But sensing that the ancients sent Spotlight to him for a reason, he took her to the core of light and trained her to defend it as a member of the Skylanders. And when none other than Portal Master Chaos destroyed it, Spotlight vanished. Now that, of course, brings into question the core of light, and we're going back to SSA there. I don't know, I feel like I need to go rewatch that trailer, see if maybe there's this Flashwing-like angelic-looking dragon in the background somewhere, because that would predate this as it does. But it kind of makes you wonder, you know, like what went down there, and what about the fate of Blackout? All kinds of questions. I believe her primary attack was I-Beam, secondary is Halo Rings here, so we'll go ahead and take a look at her
Illuminating
upgrades.
numbers.
Alright, I-beams, that is what it is. Press X to fire concentrated beams of light. We kind of described that somewhat accurately. Then we've got Halo Rings. Press B to release Halo Rings, which damage enemies and refract I-beams. Not sure we saw them damage the enemies. That might be something we have to go into a chapter to do. These next 4 will be her base upgrades. It begins with Bright Eyes. That's a good name for her. I-beams do more damage. Following that up, we've got Heavenly Aura. Press Y, this will be her tertiary attack, to create a Heavenly Aura, damaging enemies inside. After that, we have got the Halo effect. Poor trolls. Hitting enemies with Halo Rings slows them down. And lastly, the final base upgrade is Halo Halos. You can have more Halo Rings active at a time. So, coming in here, let's see what we've got. That is going to be... looks like the I-beam attack, so I think this path would be called Visionary. It begins with Aura Charge. Shoot a Heavenly Aura with I-beams to power it up and do more damage. That'll be a tertiary, primary, hybrid there. Then we've got Lighted Up. I-beams do even more damage and have longer range. And lastly, we have got Bling. Shoot 2 Halo Rings at once, so that's kind of cool, especially if they do damage to enemies on their own. The other path is called the Ringer. As you might have guessed, it improves your Halo Ring attacks. Heavy Halo Rings are larger and do more damage. After that, you've got Ring Shot. Halo Rings shoot light beams out of their own, or light beams of their own. And lastly, Uplifting Experience. Lift enemies caught in Halo Rings up with a Heavenly Aura. So this is something, it makes a little bit more sense to me than Blackout's upgrades, just reading them here. I don't know, we might actually get the base upgrades and then decide. I'm kind of thinking I would personally prefer Visionary. It's just more straightforward, I feel. I'm not quite sure how well the Halos are going to interact with the game. However, Uplifting Experience looks epic, so I don't know. That said, either path we take, we get our Soul Gem, and it's called Light Dragons. Shoot a Heavenly Aura with I-beams to create light dragons who attack enemies. That's going to be pretty awesome regardless. So if you do take this bottom path, that kind of gives you a little bit of a perk that you might have just had locked in with the top path. Similarly, if you take the top path, that'll just give you more reason to actually do the Aura Charge, you know. So that said, that is about all she wrote from this spotlight here. I won't go into an iTunes complaint or anything here with you. That said, I think what I may do is come. She looks pretty cool running the staircase like there, like a boss. She don't need to use real stairs, she'll just use the railing. But what I will do, we'll come in, try to get the attack damage documented for the box stock attacks, then I will take her and Blackout. That's very bright, I guess is how you know it's light. But I will take her and Blackout through, we'll get their base upgrades going. If I have time tonight, I'll try to do their one path. I'll try to take the one that I think I'll like the least, and then I can have the one I like the most. Hopefully it turns out that way. That said, before I let you go and we close this video and the music starts playing, head over to oneofwisdom.com or the Skylander Club forum. Skylander Club forum, it's in the polls section. You do need to be a registered member there to sign up. I run the site. It's totally safe. It's kid and family friendly. You can sign up when you do that. When you cast your vote, where we'll just say you like the aesthetics of Spotlight better, since she's the lady of the hour right at the minute. You can come in and you can vote for Spotlight, and then you can come in and you can tell everyone why you like her better aesthetically than Blackout. So same thing with Blackout. You can say, oh, he just looks way cooler, or whatever you need to do. You can help justify, see if people have the same thoughts as you. You can say she looks like Flashwing, my favorite character, and then see if other people think the same thing. That said, and that kind of ties in with Flashwing's story too, because I'm like an encyclopedia on these things for some reason, even though there's really not much reason to remember these things. But if you recall from Flashwing's story, the cool thing, Bash was involved. But Bash was out one night, and there was all of a sudden this like comet coming down from the sky, and he went to go see what the heck it was, and it turned out to be, you know, this really hot shit called Flashwing that he liked. That kind of ties in with this. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what the future holds between all these tie-ins we've got going on. So that said, stay tuned for that. That stuff's out of my control. I can make it up if I have to, or if I'm consulted to do so. But just pointing out some observations there. That said, make sure you cast your vote in the poll. If you don't want to sign up on the forum, you're in a hurry, head over to oneofwisdom.com, scroll down the right-hand side right when you see my Twitter feed. Below that, I have all the active polls. You can cast your vote not only for Spotlight versus Blackout, but also keeping with the theme, we've got Nightlight versus Nightmare, so be sure to check that one out. Vote as well. Again, it is only aesthetics right now, i.e. what they look like, so keep that in mind. Once these polls close, I will do a Blackout versus Spotlight, you know, just overall PvP, whatever you want to call it, so stay tuned for that one as well. That said, you can follow me on Twitch, where I live stream the Skylanders Trap Team. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, stay tuned. We're going to get some upgrades going for these Light and Dark Newlanders, and we'll see how they play out. So, as always, thanks for watching. Make sure you are subscribed. Encourage your friends to do the same thing. Leave a like, leave a comment, whatever works best for you. The likes are definitely appreciated. But that said, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you back here for some Spotlight upgrade